the same energy that healed that little blind boy. How was that little blind boy healed? Was that a book that Peter Palpin read? Did Peter Palpin read a book out of the library? Or is all that energy, all that positive energy, coming from the one and only Trueberry? That one in Trueberry. That one in Trueberry. That one and only Trueberry. He has a lot to say, that one and only Trueberry. And so why believe the libel Bible, in the Menorah Torah, in the Iran Quran, in that little blue boy, or is it a blue girl, or is it a blue god, or are all those gods frauds? Is there only one God? Is there only one? Is there only one? Is there only one? And so why worship the messenger? Who would worship the clown of the town of Los Angeles and Hollywood? Peter Palpin. And he's begging you on his hands and knees. None of this is me. None of it is me, not the comedy day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, second after second. None of it is me. If you think I can become a human clock, me, Peter, the one in front of you, if you think I could become a human clock 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or is it a human metronome? Or is it a human drum machine that no man or woman has ever seen? And if you think Peter Palpin can all of a sudden wake up and move his hands faster than Ali and Bruce Lee, I call it Lily, like no man or no woman in the history of the world has ever been able to do. Pick up the more than obvious spiritual clues, my dears and undears. Who the hell do you think it is? Do you think Peter Palpin woke up December 22nd, 2006, not on the mix or in the mix, on Route 666, and all of a sudden started doing this and that and that and this and this and that and that and this? Do you think that is from a crazy guy, a lunatic, a nut job, a homicidal maniac, here to heal Mother Earth and give her back her mirth and rebirth? Is that what's going on here? A maniac who heals the little blind boy. A maniac who healed dozens and dozens on our website, all giving testimonial after testimonial, far more than ceremonial. A lady that fell out of a window in Vietnam over 30 years ago, and after 30 minutes, oh yeah, or was it, or was it, or does it matter? The sound effects that I do through Peter Palpin. All that matters is the heart of this matter. And the heart of the matter is all of you. I mean every one of your ugly and smugly and darn wrong fuglier than fugly hearts and souls, and even the dreads of your heads, led by your huge, tiny little ego, your jealousy, your envy, your unfriendly, the love, the light, and the ways, one and only true arch enemy. But for some reason, you all continue to play treason on the one and only small, the heart, because you want to believe in all those paradoxes, or are they paradoxes that don't match? One's white and one's black. On one page it says, you reap what you sow. And well, that's from my original works, the verse of the universe, which is not perverse or a curse, as long as you stay in the one and only smart, the heart. So I wonder and I blunder, and I even thunder and sunder. How any of you could be so dumb How many of you could be so stupid and believe those words that most of you involved in the blackball list out of Los Angeles and on Hollywood, in New York City, city of non-witty and pity, wrote many, many, many lifetimes ago, not rewrote. Exactly, rewrote, not wrote. You took my original works, all you jerks, all you spiritual, or is it unspiritual jerks, that didn't want any future people of the planet to have all my more than perks, to see the spiritual laws that are not full of flaws. And so you took all my amazing and blazing works and you rewrote them into paradoxes, or are they parasoxes, or are they loxes and cream cheese and bagel? And the thing is, it's 99.9% Jews. 99.9% Jews. Not grape juice or apple juice or orange juice or strawberry juice. I'm talking about Jew, J-E-W. Like the one standing in front of you, so you can't use that Jew line. He was born a Jew through and through. And you could talk about black people too, the truth about black people, that Michael Irvin always says, but then gets bombarded by the Rush Limbos of the world. Well, let me ask you something, Rush. Rush, Bimbo. Rush not Slimbo. Rush, Gadimbo, Gadambo. Gadimbo and Gadamba and Gadimba and Gadimba. And Badimba and Badamba and Badumba and Badimba. And Bazimba and Badimba and Fazima and Fazamba. And Fazama and Badama and Baduma and Badima. And Badima and Bajima and Bajima and Bajamba. And Bajama and Banamba. And Banamba and Kanamba. And Kanamba and Kanibi and Kanibi and Kanambi. And Kanambi and Kanavi and Kanivi and Kanavi. And Kasivi and Kasavi and Kalivi and Kalavi. And Deluvi and Delavi and Delivi and Deduvi. And a Duvi and a Dizzy and a Dizzy and a Busy. And a Trizzy and a Trizzy and a Trazzle and a Trizel. And the Trizel and a Misel and a Misel and a Measle. And a Measle and a Weasel and a Weasel and a Visel. And a Visel and a Diesel and a Diesel and a Diesel. Is the Weasel or the Wiser or the Wiser or the Pfizer. And the Pfizer or the Perma and the Perma or the Menente. And the Menentes and the Venendes and the Venendes and the Brothers. And the Brothers and the Smothers and the Smothers and the Smithers and the Smithers and the Smathers and the Lithers and the Lathers. And the Lithers and the Losers and the Losers and the Winners and the Winners of the Grinners and the Grinners of the Grammar. And the Grammy and the Grammys and the Limmy and the Lammies and the Slimmy and the Slammy and the Slammy and the Mammy. And the Bimmy and the Bammy and the Bammy and the Mammy is the Mimmy and the Mommy and the Mommy and the Salami. And the Salami and the Balami and the Baloney and the Coloni and the Filoni and the Filani and the Filonius and the Balonius. And the Colonius and the Balonius and the Phoniest and Phoniest is the Phonies and the Bonies and the Bonies and the Homies. And the Homies and the Hardys and the Hardys and the Cardys. And the Cardys and the Party and the Party and the Hardy. And the Party and the Hardy and the Smarty and the Hardy is the Smarty and the Hardy and the Hardy and the Laurel. And the Laurel and the Hardy and the Hardy and the Laurel. And the Laurel and the Boral and the Voral and the Floral. And the floral and the fiddle and the fiddle in the middle of the kittle and the kittle and the cattle and the tattle and the tattle and the tittle and the tittle of the tail and the fail of the field. And the field of the peeled and the peeled of the pale. And the pale of the nailed and the nailed of the railed. And the railed of the derailed and the railed of the mailed and the mail and the meal of the mile. And the mile and the smile and the smile and the spiel. And the spiel and the feel and the feel and the fail. And the fail and the tail of the dog. And the dog of the God and the God of the given. And the given of the mivin and the mivin of the mavin and the mavin of the mavin and the glivin of the glavin. And the glavin of the gliver and the gliver of the liver is the liver of the laver and the lather of the lither. And the lither of the gither or the gither of the gather or the gather of the goother or the goother of the moother. The smoother and the smather and the smatter and the batter is the bitter and the batter and the titter and the tatter. And the tittle and the tail is the fiddle and the fail of the bail is the bail of the bonds. And the berry of the bonds and the berry of the bat and the berry of the bonds and the bonds of the berry. And I will heal berry bonds. I will heal berry bonds. I will heal berry bonds.